Hi again. In this video we will talk briefly about what things are happening inside the function and the difference about what's happening inside the function and what is happening outside the function. And this will concern something which you will learn about, so global variables. So basically we have an example here. When you define something inside the function, it's defined only inside the function. You might have already heard about this. If not, you can have a look at this example. Basically, if we run this example, we can see that here a function is defined, and inside this function we say that variables a and b are equal 20 and 30, and then we print the values of these variables. What do we do next? So then we define these variables here in the script, a, b, and we create also a new variable c, which are equal to 1, 2, and 3. And then we call this function. Since we call this function, then this code is executed. So you might think that after we call this function here, variables a and b will have values 20 and 30. We can run this code and see that first, when this function is executed here in line 6, then we go in Python goes into this code, so it prints this line of code, and we can see that values for a, b, c inside the function body are 20, 30, and 3. So Python both knows that a and b are 20 and 30, and also inside the function Python knows the value of variable which was not defined in the function. So it also knows what is the value of variable 3. But what happens next? Well, we have another print statement where variables a, b, c are again checked and printed, and we can see that values for a, b, c outside the function body are 1, 2, and 3. So Python did not remember that a and b are equal to 20 and 30. They were equal to 20 and 30 inside the function call. So if I comment on this line and run this code, then you can see that values for a, b, c inside the function body are 20 and 30. But then afterwards, if I go further into the code and try to use values of a and b again, then Python forgets what happened inside the function and goes to the state which was last seen in this script. So basically, for after Python finished executing this function, the variables a, b, and c became again the last values it has seen inside the script. So the variables a, b, and c became again 1, 2, 3. So this is how variables inside the function usually work, and usually you will use functions in a Python in exactly this way. But if for some reasons you want Python to remember what happened inside a function with some variable, then you have a way of doing that. And here's an example of how to do it. It's exactly the same code. The only difference is that now our function is called glob variable, so global variable, and one of the variables we have used, we are using inside the function, we tell to Python that this variable should be considered as global. So what happens here? Let's run this example. So Python 3, and now our script is global var. So what happens here, you can see that the values for ABC inside the function body are 20, 30, and 3. This is the same as before. So basically, we define ABC here to be 1, 2, and 3. Then we call the function. Inside the function, A becomes 20 and B becomes 30. And then this line is printed. So values for ABC inside the function body are 20, 30, and 3. But then we execute this line, which previously looked like this, that when we were executing this line, variables A and B came back to the state from before function call. So previously, as you can see here, we have seen that A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 2. Now, since we told Python that a variable is a global variable, Python remembers what happened inside the function. So what happens here when the code is executed is that A, B, C are set to values 1, 2, and 3 respectively. Then we call the function and we tell Python, okay, whatever happens with variable A should be considered as global. So you should remember this. So now Python stores value 20 inside variable A, and he will remember this after the function call is ended. And we store value 3 in variable B, but this will not be remembered. This line is printed. We have discussed this already. And then the function call ends, and then this line is printed. And since we have changed the value of variable A from 1 to 20, now when this line is printed, A is equal to 20, B is equal to 2 because it wasn't treated as global variable, so any changes that happened inside the function call were forgotten by Python, and C is 3 because C was never mentioned inside the function, like nothing happened with C anywhere that was before. In the previous example it was the same. We use this C here only to show you that that you can use variables which are defined outside of the function inside the function, but you should already know it from the previous courses, so this shouldn't be something new to you. Okay, so these are global variables. The most two important things to remember are that what happens inside the function if you don't tell it explicitly to Python, don't tell otherwise explicitly to Python, stays inside the function. So we have if you define variables outside of the function and then create the same variables inside the function, do something with them, Python after the function call is ended will forget about this by default. Second important thing to remember is that you can get different behavior using a reserved keyword global. Then Python will remember what happened inside the function. Usually you don't use behavior like this, but if for some reason you need this, then you have an option like this. Okay, so these were global variables. This summarizes the topic of global variables, and in the next video we will discuss keywords and default parameters which you can use inside the function. So thank you for your attention and see you in the next video.